Why? Why did you bonk me?
So, today I had an idea, a thought, a sort of issue, realizations of problems to be done.
In other words, we're not doing brass today to finish up the mechanisms.
Well, hopefully we're doing grass today because I can get this done quick enough and then we can go do that. So shut up so I can get this done and then maybe we'll do that.
So we're still not going to be under an hour. Gotcha.
Shut up. We're trying something. I've noticed an issue with this is mostly the washing process takes forever. However, the washing process is only doing like 3 of them at a time when it could be doing like a stack of them at a time. The issue with that is the issue with the feeding system because each ones are like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 most. So I've thought of a system where I could go ahead, cut all these belts out, put in a thing I'm going to do, and then it should be able to output a stack at a time into the thing, automatically shutting off the thing whenever it's got all the stuffs. You know what I mean? So, I think I'm going to do this first one. Then we'll pause, I'll come back, I'll do the rest of them, so he'll shut up. But, I think if I take all this nice stuff right now, I should be able to do this. Back on for a minute. Put this up here. Put a brass funnel on the back. Well, technically I don't need a brass one on the back. I can just use an andesite. It'll be cheaper. There we go. Okay, so andesite funnel in, brass funnel out. The trick is that if I do this, let's see, which way can I get this to work? Yeah, it should work. And then grab me a lever real quick, will you? So I can test this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, if I put that there, is that going to interact with this? I'm hoping it will. Pretty much, if I have this put out a signal, whenever the stacks are less than, let's say, 9, it'll turn off after that. That should... Yes, that'll turn on. Now, the question is just how to get this to turn on. So I'm not sure on that part exactly. Will that work? It'll work there, but not there. So I just need to get the power into this block, basically. Unless, actually, would it just work if I did it like that?
No,
No.
because it won't send it that direction. You'd have to do it over here and then up. Except now it's trying to go back into that. Yeah. Vanilla redstone's a pain in the butt. That's why I like redstone wire.
And we do make redstone wire?
We do have red alloy wire. We just need to make mixed liquid redstone, not heated, with copper pounded for some reason. So you need a basin with a mechanical press. And you can make red alloy ingots and then turn those into red alloy wire.
Alright. Pause for a minute, get that ready to go, and then we'll be back with that.
Alright, we'll be right back.
Alright.
What?
Red alloy.
Which I do have to say, for anybody that normally watches... Nice job. For anybody that normally watches our Greg Tech stuff, I need to show this to Greg because this is more in tune to my way of how redstone works, red alloy works, rather than Greg's. Because Greg's is that it's a compression recipe, which I guess you could argue it's his as well.
You gotta go.
Nice job. because you are
No, no.
compacting it, so it does make it sort of compression, but mine is that it's infusing it. So I guess maybe it's his and not mine, because it is compacting it. Anyways, one way or another, this fixes the argument between me and Greg of what that recipe is. Get the bucket out of there, and it has to go straight up and down, not side to side. It's this way.
Yeah. Okay, so that gives me red alloy wire. Hopefully now I can set this here, and that will activate it. Good. So now that that has officially activated that little bit there, I can put a little bit of stone brick underneath there, run the wire. It will still activate the funnel. Good. And I can output that into a redstone link, which I will go ahead and connect to the grinder again. So I didn't have a lever because I kind of stole it from here. And I put that there. I set it to receive. That will currently shut off the grinder. So that's going to be a slight problem. We do need a switch. We need my whoop-de-doo thing.
When I look
Power
in
latch, power target latch.
when I look in EMI or NEI or JEI or EIEIO, whatever the hell we're using, I don't see a whoop-de-doo.
You said you didn't know what it is. My redstone flip.
Oh, you need one of those. Okay.
Do we have... I know Crate has, like, a pulse timer, powered latches, pulse extenders, repeaters. Any of those things?
I still haven't figured out what your flip-flop thing is. It's not a T flip-flop, but it's a flip-flop.
Well, basically, I need to
know.
power the funnel when the grinder's off. So I need to reverse this redstone link.
Oh, well, move your redstone link a second. Why wouldn't you just invert the signal? Put that there with a... Give me a piece of redstone. You just need a simple inverter.
Well, I didn't invert.
Well, that's because the redstone isn't actually connecting. Now that will invert.
Okay, so that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So now, while the grinder is on, this chest is going to fill with crushed andesite. As soon as it gets my preset set, which right now is 9 stacks, I can adjust it later, but basically once it gets 9 stacks, it'll switch the signal, turn on the funnel, shut off the grinder.
Stupid question.
I could up it if I wanted to. What?
Is there any possible way to have each grinder individual, so if we need more of one thing and less of another, because we're going to need more zinc than we are, say, iron.
Say, technically this is just to keep it from overflowing, basically. Sort of. Technically, yes, because I have these gaps here, except for back here. I can't do those three. Because these three are side by side. But technically, I could put the redstone gap, whatever, right here where these shafts are in the gap.
And just put a clutch, but the clutch would stop
there.
But the clutch would
No, I
stop
just
everyone
replaced the
past.
shaft.
Oh,
Well, yeah, that would do it. Yeah, so technically not the way I had it set up. No. But again, it's not really to get more than one or the other. It's just to get them into a chest so that the wash basins can have a stack each of everything.
okay.
Basically, it's just fixing off issues here.
Okay. I think we should.
Wait a minute. Wait.
mhm.
I just thought of a big problem.
Hmm.
That stops the belt.
That's a big problem.
I might need to fix that.
Well, while we're fixing things, can we move the drive motor for the grinders down below so we can have an individual clutch for each set? Is that possible? Without redoing everything.
Basically, no. Not without redoing a lot of crap that I don't want to have to redo.
Okay.
Again, this is not to try to filter what we get. It's just to compact it all, basically.
I know, but we
This is a
keep finding,
compaction.
like, here, I keep finding end stone.
Okay, that is easily fixed with
Okay.
this system. If I take, say, the crushed andesite, put that on this filter, it will then only put out crushed andesite. So then
Okay.
any discrepancies that get caught will be in the chest. Then we just look at the chest if there's an issue.
Okay.
So that can be fixed right there.
Okay, so now figure out your belt issue.
Yes, the belt issue, I'm basically going to have to cut the belt under the chest and then run a separate drive for the inputs, which I can find some... I'm thinking I could just run a shaft from over here where my Blackstone is. Just have that drive the rest of it. But again, now I basically got to copy that across all this and redo the belt. So pause, and I will come back when all this is done.
Be right back.
You're rude.
You're bonking me for again.
I don't like you.
Okay, go show the things you did.
Oh, you see, I got a threshold switch. With a little walkie-talkie on the side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Talks to the playmaker.
Mm-hmm. What does any of this
Now-
have to do with washing?
I said I don't like you. I'm not talking about that.
Wasn't there an idea of having like
So.
one of these above each one of these? Like an hour ago?
I believe I mentioned I don't like you. Also, where's the granite?
We don't have
Oh,
any.
hey, it actually went through all that granite already. Let's see.
Nothing. Just get through the diorite.
It's working on it. So, apparently I wasn't reading this properly, and I can set this to be exactly 64, not up to 64.
He doesn't know what a divider bar... Well, he didn't know what a divider bar meant up until this point.
Shut up. So now all these are set to where they will only shoot out if they have 64. So then a stack will automatically be put onto the depots every time. So we're now washing a stack at a time. I went ahead and put a receiver up here for this box because it had a whole lot in it. But it currently controls the grinders for us, so if that box ever ends up over whatever threshold I set it to, 9 stacks. If there's ever 9 stacks of granite in here, it'll shut off. I can probably go ahead and up that a little bit.
Diorite.
Whatever. There we go. Now if there's more than 20 stacks in here, it'll shut off. And we went ahead and upped the andesite, so there's now a 5 time under here. So now we get one every bunk. Because, well, we use andesite.
Not that we really needed to, because the andesite gives us cobalt and gunpowder that we're not currently using yet. But it is nice for EMC.
Why is that not working?
We're probably going to want to do the same for diorite and granite soon, since they make our copper and our zinc. And that's what we need for brass and electron tubes and andesite alloy.
That's also the other good thing is now that we have that set up, we don't have to worry about random things ending up on the long belt. At least up there anyway. Still here we seem to have a slight issue I'm trying to fix. Okay. Now, unless I go messing around with stuff, we should no longer have issues of the long rock ending up in the wrong places. So that will also solve for that problem. Also, you need to empty the quartz. It's apparently full.
Again?
Yep.
Okay.
I told you I'd fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that that's done, we need to work on the bonds thing, which means we need copper and zinc. Zinc
Brass
and copper
thing.
are whatever. Those are both already being messed with. We just need to get them together in a smelter to make the brass, output the brass, and stick it up into that thing.
Mm-hmm.
As nuggies. Somebody's knocking on my fucking door again.
I didn't hear. But I'll pause.
Better not be.
You might want to fix that.
Well, I'm getting zinc ingots.
Mm-hmm. You don't need zinc ingots.
Hey, you happy I even set a funnel so it only puts out 9 at a time?
Yeah. Now, do I need to move this, I'm assuming?
I don't know what it is you're talking about.
The smelter I set up for making brass when you made cut copper earlier?
Yes, we're not putting it over there. Ow.
I was assuming so.
Okay, so we need to make brass out of the zinc and the copper in a smelter. I can get them both over here. How exactly the hell we're going to do this where it doesn't just randomly throw a whole bunch of copper or zinc in the damn thing? I ain't figured that part out yet.
I have an idea.
Those are usually bad.
You are correct, but I think this one might be good. You have these moments of intelligence in the stupid questions and stupid ideas, which is the funnel thing. If you or tunnel thing, the andesite or brass tunnels can split between two different inputs. Could we turn them around to where it splits two different inputs to one output?
Ow, 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 ow.
You're dying.
Ow, ow.
You should probably stop dying.
I can't shift walk on the belts with that helmet on. It's great for me to get around, but sucks for doing that part.
Take off that stupid helmet.
Shut up.
Anyways, you got the
I
idea?
also need a range upgrade on this thing.
Oh, you're not getting a range upgrade
I
from the
heard
toolbox.
something about a funnel and something about turning it in that direction.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. We'll be right back. I would just like to point out to anybody that's seen my Greg Tech stuff, his belt spaghetti might be worse than my pipe spaghetti.
Not belt spaghetti.
Uh-huh. Did you or did you not just say we were tearing out the entire floor at some point to try to make a road map of this mess?
I didn't say the bill. I meant this whole great area.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Because I don't know what's driving from where anymore. The belts, I know where they're going. Straight out from each of their respective things.
Mm-hmm.
And
There are
turning over into the
cities.
processing area.
There are cities in the U.S. that intersections for the highways are not this messy, Junior.
Yeah, I know. It's called a four-way intersection.
And you've seen some of the weird on-ramps, off-ramps for highways in this country. Anyways, let's discuss my idea here.
Yeah, it's retarded.
I'm hoping not. You got any funnels? Or tunnels?
Yes, I have funnels. Yes, I have tunnels. I always have funnels and tunnels. If I don't, I
Okay.
tell you to go get me some.
Go put 2 tunnels right here.
Now.
Stop playing with the floor.
I'm fixing it.
I'll fix it later.
No, you won't. You'll fill it with cobblestone.
I'll do that too, but still, focus.
No. What do you want?
2 funnels. Damn it.
Too bad.
2 tunnels.
I don't have
Right
funnels.
here. Tunnels.
You said funnels.
I know what I said. Shut up. You know how this works. Do as I say, not as I do. Why did you put them there?
There you go. There's tunnels.
Would you stop being a turd again?
I don't know what you want.
I want them right here, side by side.
There you go.
Okay, now. I want you to hook power to this thing. I think they need to be brass. Because andesite won't... Great, that figures. They're going backwards. Put a gearbox in there. I need it the other way. Okay, what I want to know is if we can do this.
You can throw
But
it
I
in
need it...
Yes.
Change these to brass. You got brass ones?
Those are expensive, you know.
I know, but I think it's what we want for this. Because we want to... force round robin, which is what I have set. So now if I put the gold on that...
Yeah, it's all going to output that one.
Okay, so we needed to set to exactly 1 on the front of both of these. Why is that not working?
Because you're not doing it. These ain't funnels. These are tunnels.
Oh, it's only the funnels you can do that. Okay, well if I put that there, I put a second one.
You got one out the first.
Can we put a block there that'll stop it?
Then they'll just end up stopping up the whole conveyor belt.
Well, then my idea isn't going to work if that's the case. Because I don't want it to come out that way. I want it to be where you put 1 here, 1 there. I put those 2 out. Now, if I put a second one of these, I don't want that coming out.
Unless you filter it, and then it's only going to spit out 1 or 2 times.
So no, you can't do what I thought, which was the opposite of splitting. Because if we did it without your gearbox and we put them on this side, we could force it to split between the 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I want it to be the exact opposite, where it's forcing the split of the inputs, not the outputs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There is another possible way we could do it. But again, I don't know if it's going to work. Which is if we do... Pop this out of here a second. Grab that. My inventory's full. Would it
I still
work?
think the smart observer could do it.
Try out my idea for a second. Have two belts coming into a central belt. But you're probably right. The smart observer might be what we have to go with. Well, I meant like a T shape. Have the other one coming in over here. Sorry. Then these two belts have nowhere to go. Would that then work if we set this to force round robin?
No.
That didn't force round robin.
That is just meaning the output. Like it would then put one this way, one that way, one that way, one this way, one this way, one that way.
But if I keep feeding these, it's just going to keep pounding out that side. Yeah. Well, that sucks. I was hoping they had thought of that and gave you a way to mix a belt.
So, I'm thinking is if we do it again by bulk. Put a smart bring both belts up here, put them into a chest. So fill up one with zinc, fill up one with copper. Use a smart observer to tell when they have a stack in each, and then spit it out.
Okay.
Then it will see there's one in both, so activate the funnels. It'll spit out an ingot each, and then go in.
Wait, couldn't we just use the funnel set to exact one or exact stack and just set it up to a belt on either side of the controller?
Well, again, we're looking on a small thing, and then technically, yes, that is what I'm thinking, is that we would do that, and then it would put in...
If you do that with a funnel on each side that says exact one...
Well, that ain't fixing the issue, because then it would just put exactly one in every time it gets one, and would fill it with one or the other.
You'd have
my
to set
idea
a
is
redstone.
To get them over here, put them in the chest, and then the chest, when it has one in both, will be able to put out the signal, hit the funnels, and say, drop one. And that'll send an ingot of each into the damn thing.
Yeah, you're right. You would have to have the observer to know that you have one of each. And you'd have to make sure that the redstone went off, because if we build this only the 1x1 size like this, too high, you only have 2 slots. You can only do 1 ingot of each.
Yeah, which is pretty much what I want to do, so that we keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
So, episode's gonna really fucking piss me off. Pause again, and I'll get this set up, and then we'll show you what I did. And get it plugged in and everything good to go.
Okay. See you in a minute. So, you want to try to explain everything that just happened in the last hour and a half?
I'll let you figure this one out.
Alright, so let me do a quick switch over here real quick. And let me unmute Junior. So basically, for anybody that has ever seen our GT6 stuff, this is basically the Crucible setup for automating a Crucible. We have a pulse former down here with an AND gate. The AND gate is being fed by these smart observers that are saying, is there something on this belt? If so, give it a signal. And there's one on either side. There's also an observer on the front of the controller that is feeding the pulse former that is saying, do we have room in the smelter to put something? And if so, it sends a redstone signal to both of the andesite tunnels here, and we get 1 zinc and 1 copper. Luckily, because it detects if the controller has anything in it, it will not, even when one gets in and the other one's waiting, because this thing, okay, it just messed up. We got 2 zinc. I don't know how that happened. We need a copper in there. It worked good.
How.
You think you know how?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is we don't have enough room. I can detect 1 item in the Crucible. I can't detect both. There's not enough room. I could say, hey, look for this. Hey, look for that. But I can't say, hey, look for both of these in 1 block.
You can't tell it to look for anything. Oh, then it would do... Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, see, in GT6 it was if empty. And what I need to know is when it is empty. I don't need to know if something is there. I need to know if nothing is there.
Okay, that is what we basically are doing.
Okay. And it's working most of the time.
Which is good enough to screw off.
Okay, so basically it's working. We may have to fiddle with it a little bit from time to time. I'm going to try to come back and take a look at it later and see what we can figure out. But then on the back side here, as of right now, we have 1 nugget pouring nuggets, which slows this thing down, which is actually kind of nice because I think it helps. Hopper putting it in the chest, and then the chest can output when he puts a tunnel on here, or a funnel on here. Hey, Mr. Funnel.
Busy.
No, not busy. Funnel. Funnel that.
Can't.
Why?
Toolbox all the way.
Okay, then that'll output the brass nuggets. Brass nuggets will come up here into that. And we have now successfully automated Persision Mechanisms. So now the only problem we have is the
If you randomly
screwdrivers.
put rods in my damn.
Shut up, that
Copper.
didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. And I actually threw an ingot in where the plate was. Shut up. But we keep running out of screwdrivers, and now we are out of copper wires here, but we have tons of the sealed ones done, so it's fine. Once we get everything loaded, then it should be able to keep up pretty well. So, other than any other changeovers we decide to work on, we should be ready to go to the next set of mechanisms. We should now finally be able to head to chapter 4. Because this
Notice
is the
anything, by the way?
end of the Brass Age. Yes, they're empty. Nice. So it is doing its job. We do need to set up the filters, or the sifters for these two, though. I think we'll do that next. I think we'll do that next so we can get that all done and taken care of, so we have everything coming out that we're supposed to be having out here. And then
There's
next
still going to
time
be
we'll
a whole
start on
other
the...
issue because those two have so much stupid bull crap. There's no way in hell I'm sifting it over there. I'm going to have to set up a sifting area.
Yeah, because Endstone has 4 things.
Mm-hmm.
Crushed Endstone sifted is going to give us 5 things. Chorus Fruit, which doesn't have EMC. Ender Pearls, Echo Shards, Chorus Fruit, and Skulk Shriekers, which all have EMC, but the chances on all of those are really low. So we're going to be going through tons of Endstone to get any of this stuff. This has a 25% chance, but it doesn't have any EMC, so it's just going to kind of be a waste product. And then the Black Stone. It's going to sift out to one thing that we can use, one thing we need to recycle, and one thing that's useless. And, well, 2 things that's useless, because so is the black dye. It has no EMC. And then our netherite, that is what we actually want. But it may have been a somewhat short episode for you guys, because we actually managed to keep it under an hour. It has been about 3 or 4 hours for us trying to get through this, so hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one for hopefully the sifting.
Good luck.
Later.
Uh-huh.